Welcome to Boy Time Podcast. We're gonna get litty time, yeah. Oh, it's your Boy Time Podcast. Coming in with the slam dunk of a theme song.
Hi ho ho, it's me, Rudy Giuliani, back at it again with a new episode of the Boy Time Podcast. And as always, I'm joined by Babby and Paul.
Yes, I was here
go.
last week.
That's right. Yeah, we made a joke about that last time, that we have an on again, off again relationship with you.
Yeah.
That's okay. We're back. Paul's back. We're back on Twitter.
Dude, we are.
That's right. The suspension is over. So I'm no longer going to cyberbully Joe Rogan, unfortunately.
This is the second time this has happened. I would hope you would learn at this point.
I have learned my lesson.
Wait, what?
I did call him a roided raisin in the first tweet that I did.
Great.
All I said, I'll read you guys my tweet. I said, I'm back, probably going to ease off cyberbullying Joe Rogan for now. Twitter seems to have a soft spot for roided raisins. That's
pretty sick.
That's it. I left it at that. If Joe Rogan wants to fight me in the ring, I would do it. We both have the same amount of experience in MMA fighting, which is 0. And yeah, I think I could probably win.
All right. How do you think you get the advantage on him?
Probably just kick him in the groin.
I guess.
Just start saying like some crazy stuff about aliens, and then he'll just like sit down like a child and just like story time.
Just start listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I could probably do it very easily. See, what you gotta outthink the beast. It's a reason why men can beat bulls in Spain. It's because they're
men are
smarter.
stupid.
They know
Bulls
that
are stupider.
bulls are stupider. See, this is what I'm saying. It's all a big allegory.
Yep.
But we actually
This
have
is the one time I was gonna tweet too, and like that we were suspended. So
I know. I was a little bit sad about that because that would have been a very good tweet.
yeah, banger tweet.
We're gonna talk about it later, though.
Yeah, I'll talk about it later.
Because this is not the first time this has happened, but we actually predicted.
This is a running theme
Yeah.
for me. So
Not we. Babby has continually made correct predictions when it comes to dates and just
numbers in
just
general, for
numbers.
some reason.
You're always right on everything, which is so weird. I shouldn't even try at this point because
it's like continuous. It doesn't stop.
it doesn't, and it's weird. But we'll talk about that later. But we actually have a slam dunk episode. We have a lot of gaming news. Not a lot. And then we have some show discussions. Because we started Saul season 6. First 2 episodes. We gotta talk about that. It's our favorite show ever. And I also wanted to talk about Our Flag Means Death season 1. The Taika Waititi gay Blackbeard show. Because I finished that today, and I thought I would give a little synopsis of what I liked about it. So, we'll talk about that. Did you watch everything?
No.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
I know we were talking about that.
Yeah, we can do it next week. I think this week's a slam dunk anyways, so it might be too long.
Yeah,
to talk
I think
about
we
it anyways.
have enough.
Yeah, today was record store day, so I did not have time.
Okay, that's fine. That is okay. We have enough to talk about. But I also, I don't know, this was not intentional, but last night I threw on another A24 movie, and I gave it another 5 stars. This.
Oh my God, he's becoming an arty boy. It's crazy.
Well,
He's converting.
No. We'll get into why I really liked that movie, but I don't even know where we start. I guess Paul had a little bit of something, so we'll start with Paul.
Yes, I did, yeah.
A little bit of Paul news.
News indeed.
Because, he's been gone, well, on again, off again. He's been doing his CDL trading to get his trucking license. So I thought, while we have Paul here,
Oh, yeah.
give him the floor. He started this week. So how's that been going?
They're going fantastic. The first day was boring class stuff, didn't do anything, but after that, started hitting off. Literally, the first thing I did in a truck was go driving off onto the road.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the instructor drove a little bit, but I pretty much instantly was driving on the road, and hey, I didn't do half bad. I came within like 5 feet of a truck that had to back off a little bit, but other than that, not
I
bad.
only hit 2 people.
Well, it was your first time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So is it mostly driving then?
It's basically it's an 9-hour class with one of those hours being lunch, and then 4 hours of that is out driving, and 4 of that is on the concourse doing backing, which because that takes a lot of practice to do.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And so it's they do a thing where, let's say you start off with the backing and then you drive, and then the next morning you drive and then back, and then it flip-flops.
Oh, okay. Well,
And so
that sounds good.
it's been fun. We all of Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all 3 of those days we had recruiters come in for lunch, and every single one of them brought lunch. 2 of those were Casey's Pizza, and one of those was Taco John's Tacos.
Oh, hey.
So I've eaten very terribly this week so far. But
Don't worry, that will all be remedied when you're on the road.
yeah,
You'll
sure.
eat nothing but the gourmet, healthy meals while you're on the road.
Gourmet Casey's sandwiches that have 100% your daily sodium in one thing.
Yes, sir.
That's all right. It's all right. Well, that's good. You'll have
Yeah.
to keep us posted how that's going.
Oh yeah, I've
yeah.
actually gotten pretty good at the driving and the backing.
Well, hey,
I've
there you go.
I even went backing straight. There was one time where he was like, "You know what? You're doing good enough. Go as fast as you can backwards." And hey, I did it 3 times in a row, so
Go as fast as you can.
which is not very fast,
True.
but
Yeah. Okay. Well, that sounds like fun and exciting.
oh yeah. And we have a pretty varied class too. There's 2 people there who immigrated here from Sudan,
Oh.
and then there's an older woman who I'm pretty sure is in her like 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a couple other guys there. It's a pretty varied class.
Well, that's cool. It's like
Oh, yeah.
like a Netflix television program.
Oh yeah, you even have the instructor who wears one of those American shirts with like the I don't know, just really obvious American shirts.
An eagle.
But for some reason, his I swear you could cut metal with those nipples. They're always showing so much. It's the most noticeable thing about him.
He's just
He's got
excited
the
about
freaking-
trucking.
He really is. He's got this certified forklift driver was born in January
Yeah.
type shirt
I want one of those
with the
for
cut off sleeves. Yeah.
But
That's true. As it's starting to get a little nicer out, the cutoffs are going to be coming
Sir.
in fashion. It's pretty epic. That's exciting. A little nice life update.
Oh yeah.
But we actually have a lot of news to get through. So I'm going to start
boy.
with gaming. It's
Ooh, that's
everybody's
my place.
favorite parts
I
anyway.
hate gaming,
Me too.
and I hate gamers.
Whoa. Let's not call out on people. We like to call them people who game, not gamers.
Ah, sorry.
You're taking the personality
apologize.
out of someone.
Sorry. My twit longer will be out since I can put one of those.
Yeah, you
Twitter.
can do that now. So I encourage you guys to look at our Twitter where Babby has left a very lengthy apology for that comment.
Yep.
But let's get started. Do you guys know who Amy Hennig is?
Who?
Nope.
Amy Hennig. She used
Nope.
to work at Naughty Dog.
Nope.
Up until recently. I think she left around Uncharted 4-ish, around there. She was the creative director for the first 3 Uncharted games. I think she had something to do with Uncharted 4. I'm not sure. But it is announced, I guess I should probably give a little bit more backstory. Back when EA had the exclusive rights to Star Wars, it was announced that Amy Hennig was making a Star Wars game with EA Motive, which was a studio that got shut down. And it was going to be kind of an Uncharted-esque Star Wars heist game, which sounds fun to me. But then that studio got shut down, and then that project got canned. Well, that project is getting picked up by Skydance Studios, who made The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, which is a very good game. So I guess Amy Hennig just went over there. I don't think it's going to be VR. I think this studio mainly does VR stuff, but she's making a new Star Wars game there. I think it's the same one. Also, she's making a Marvel game over there. So there you go. The nerdiest things she's going to go do. She used to make fun of Indiana Jones games, and now she does stupid Disney shill
She's
things.
a nerd.
I hate it. But who knows, it might be fine. And then the other bit of gaming news, I didn't know whether I should put this in who asked for this, because I frankly don't know anybody who cares. But Among Us VR is coming
Let's
holiday
go.
2022.
Let's go.
When is that coming out?
Holiday 2022.
Oh yeah, it's so far.
It is too far,
Yeah.
frankly. That was a joke. We are very excited for Among Us VR.
I am very excited.
Ironically, kind of. I don't know. It's
No.
I don't know if it's gonna be
Unironically.
good. Okay. The first game was a phone game that everyone memed to oblivion, and it is still funny somehow. And then they announced that they're doing a VR game, and the trailer made it look like that all of the like deduction that you're gonna be doing, where like you used to be able to type in chat, it looks like you're just doing that all with your hands, where like you're pointing at someone to accuse them. And it looks like it's gonna be a clusterfuck.
I love it.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So we got the bean footage, as
Beautiful.
The Twitter, the one intern at Among Us VR Twitter said that we got bean footage. So there you go, got bean footage. That's actually it for gaming. So
Oh,
sorry to hype it up. I didn't really have a lot. It was just the one thing, and then Among Us, which is kind of funny. But let's talk about shows. Let's talk about Saw, I guess. I have Saw first. Because we watched the first episode and the second episode of Saw. I think those are coming out Mondays, which is a weird day.
yes. Yeah.
But I'll take it. So we have Saw Monday, Atlanta Friday. Barry, I think, is coming out on the Tuesday, and that's going to be weekly. And I think it's going to be finishing up around, I think I said it was going to finish up on my birthday, which means it's a Sunday. So we'll get there when we get there. But we've started Saw. What did you think of the first two episodes?
Really good. I missed the show.
I did too.
There was no Cinnabon scene, though.
No.
That's my only gripe.
Yeah.
I just want to see good old Gene in the Cinnabon shop making funny cinnamon rolls and being scared every time someone looks at him.
I guess
In
we
black
should
and white.
we should preface that every season of Better Call Saul usually starts with black and white footage of Saul after the events of Breaking Bad. Because Better Call Saul is a prequel. But for the first 10 minutes of every season, we see what Saul's been doing after the events of the first show. And then this season didn't have that. I think we started, I'm pretty sure that it was Saul's house.
Yeah.
Post Breaking Bad, as Saul is, I guess, spoilers for Breaking Bad. Since Saul had to
Watch
yeah, since
Breaking
watch it, but since Saul had to change his identity at the very end, then the people who he worked with were cleaning out his house and getting all of his, belongings, and that was the beginning of season 6, and it wasn't in black and white. It was very interesting, but it really didn't ease back in. It's been 2 or 3 years since the last season, and I forgot a lot of what happened. I watched a recap video because you told me to do that, and I said that was a good idea, so I did. But then I forgot a lot of what happened. So Maybe I'll start rewatching that now that I'm done with Our Flag Means Death. But yeah, I really enjoyed it too. Kim maybe has officially broke bad.
Kim is
Saul's
girl
like
bossing her
halfway
way to the
there.
top.
Yeah.
Well, Saul broke bad a while ago, and now he's like easing back into not.
He's easing back into not. It's
Yeah,
weird.
it reminds me of Ozark when
Yeah.
like Marty was doing it, and then Wendy like went off the hook and just like went full send, and then Marty's like, "Whoa, just take it easy, man."
We're trying to
That's
get
kind
out
of
this.
that's kind of what I was feeling.
Yeah. That's a good parallel. But it's interesting because we know how Saul ends. We know
Yep.
that he's going to break bad and ultimately be the criminal lawyer, grubby little businessman that he is in
Wait,
Breaking Bad.
You're telling me he's Breaking Bad?
I'm telling you that he's going to break bad. It's shocking, I know. That is the unfortunate thing about prequels, is that we know how it's going to end. So there isn't any stakes when like someone holds Saul up with a gun. They're like, "Oh, you better get in there. I'm gonna kill you." And we're like, "Yeah, he's not gonna die though." Like we know
The
that.
show usually does that well though. Like there's like a comedy element to a lot of it. It's like Vince
Yeah.
obviously knows like you can't kill Saul, so let's make something entertaining out of it still.
Well, that's one of the strong suits, is that I care about the secondary characters just as much as I do Saul. Where like if Kim was in a situation like that, where it's like I don't know, Kim's not in Breaking Bad, so
Yep.
like
And
but-
Nacho.
and Nacho might die.
I
think-
I'm like
I-
99% sure he will, but I'm hoping he doesn't.
I hope so too. He just wants to help his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. But Kim, I don't. Here's the thing. Because she could still be with Saul in Breaking Bad, but she's just like not a part of that business. Like she separated herself and she's just doing her lawyer thing. Maybe she's the king of HHM after they dethrone Howard. I don't know. I don't know what her future is, which is
I
why
feel
it's
like that's
exciting.
the biggest question mark
Yeah.
around the whole
Where's
series
Kim,
right now.
Where's Kim gonna go? Is Gus gonna win? I don't know.
Who knows?
Who
I hope he
knows?
doesn't die.
I hope he doesn't die by an exploding wheelchair. That would be the worst.
That would suck.
That would suck. But yeah, watch Saul if you haven't. I know some people watch Breaking Bad and then they can't get into Saul. Watch it. It's just as good as Breaking
good.
Bad. You have to get past the first couple episodes. Because when he's dealing with the Skater twins, that's kind of lame. But right after that, it just
Gotta
picks
start
right up.
small.
Yeah, well, you got to ease into a little bit. He was still like, Vince, I think that was his first time working with Peter Gould. They were trying to find their, like, happy medium. It's like he had been working on Breaking Bad for 5 years, and now he's transitioning into a lawyer show. So it's like, there's obviously some transition there, and I think he's found it now. And I think that Vince is, like, barely involved. Like, from what I've heard, it's mostly Peter Gould at this point. Kind of like in the second season of Twin Peaks, where it's like just Mark Frost. David
Just
Lynch
like
is
ruins
just
it in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen here.
no, it doesn't.
Smooth transition.
Yeah. I think like honestly, after this season premieres and it's on Netflix, I think that might be like the best way to watch it, kind of like Breaking
Yeah.
Bad, because like I can't imagine like what it would be like just to watch this whole thing in one like time, because that would like because they don't like I guess they did do like last time on Saul, but like the storylines from season 5 at the very end like still carry over to season 6, which makes it a little bit difficult since it's
Like
been
this
a
is
couple
directly
years.
after. There's no time gap.
Yeah, no. Where like The Wire, there's like years go by in between seasons. But yeah, we still are not very far in season 3. I think we just finished episode 5 today, but we had to watch 2 episodes of Saul this week, so we'll see how that goes. The Wire discussions will be getting less frequent down the line, I suppose, as more shows are coming out. But that's okay. But while we're talking about shows, I wanted to briefly talk about Our Flag Means Death Season 1, the Stede Bonnet show. I was interested in watching this show because I am a very big Taika Waititi fan. He's barely involved in this show. He directs the pilot, and then he just plays Blackbeard throughout the show. So it's good, but it isn't like a Taika Waititi show. It isn't like What We Do in the Shadows, which doesn't have his influence. Like, he's not involved with that either, but it feels more like a Taika Waititi show. But I wanted to talk about it because I thought it was very good. The one thing is that I don't know exactly who the audience is. I liked it, but it felt kind of like Ted Lasso, where there's like an ensemble group of characters and you learn to love them over the course of the show. But like Ted Lasso is for like millennials and moms. Even though I really like Ted Lasso, I don't think that's like I'm breaking the norm. And Grant likes it, but that's neither here nor there. But like it's like that. It felt like that. But then there's also like a bunch of like it's kind of gross. Like there's a lot of gore in it, which I like. I thought it was pretty funny when it's mostly played for laughs. But yeah, I thought it was pretty funny, and especially since I know the Stede Bonnet story, it makes it even funnier because what they did to the story, and they actually play like pretty close to what actually happened in like the big story beats. So what happened to Stede Bonnet is that he left his family to become a pirate. He was a rich boy in England, and he decided, I'm done being a rich boy. I hate my wife and kids. I want to live a life of adventure. So I'm going to buy a ship, I'm going to get a crew, and we're going to go pirate. And so that's what he does. He goes and pirates. He eventually goes to like this pirate sanctuary where he meets Blackbeard. And Blackbeard basically kind of tricks him and is like, hey, you kind of suck as a pirate captain. Why don't I go on your ship and I can teach you the ropes? We can do all the fun pirating things and we can just be like co-captains. And then, over the course of like a couple years, they do that, but then Blackbeard betrays Stede Bonnet. He leaves him for dead on an island with his crew, but then his crew managed to find another ship, and then they beach it, I think, and then the English capture him, and then he dies because he gets hanged. So that's the real story. Basically, Stede Bonnet like dies hating Blackbeard and like seeking revenge till the very end. In this show, Stede Bonnet leaves his family, becomes a pirate, has a bunch of crew. His crew are all gay, except for one person. There's one person that's not gay in the whole ship. But that's pretty accurate, because, it's the open seas.
I will always be by the canon that pirates are majority gay.
I think that's probably true.
Like, you can't tell me you dripping out that hard and you're in the middle of the ocean and there's just no women. And, like, you're dripping out that hard for your bros. Like, nah.
They actually mentioned that in the show, where it's like, no, women aren't allowed on boats because they curse. It's a curse. Mm-hmm. They have crystals in their blood, and they're gonna attract the kraken.
Yeah, I'm not gay because I like men. I'm gay because I hate women.
That's right. I think I think that's probably what happens. But so it's all these like gay men on a boat. They don't like show any sexy stuff really, but there is like they kiss each other and like they do like a lot of that. And then Blackbeard finds them, and Blackbeard at this point is so depressed and sad, and he's like so bored of being a pirate. When he finds Stede Bonnet, he's like, wow, this is so different. He's a gentleman pirate. He has a library on a boat which if there's a storm, then all the books are going to fall off. Like, this is so impractical, but I love them. And then it's this, like, budding romance between Blackbeard and Stede Bonnet, where they learn to, like, overcome their differences. And it's like, okay, that it's pretty funny. Like, it isn't played for laughs or anything, but it's like Blackbeard, like, going from this, like, tough, pirate who murders everybody, and then he just, like, starts making out with Stede Bonnet. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm fine with it. It's funny. But then, like, they actually do bring up something that happened, because King George, I think it was King George, he was at war with the Spanish, and so he was like, all these pirates, I have such a big pirate problem, but I also have a big Spanish problem. So why don't I just recruit all the pirates, give them all amnesty, give them all pardon, and then have them fight the Spanish. And so they do bring that up. And that is something that Stede Bonnet and Blackbeard both signed up for, and then they both left in real life. And that's what happens in the show, too. So, yeah, when I like the big plot point stuff of the story, the real story, they kind of get where Blackbeard gets on the boat, and then, they don't kiss in real life. Well, they might have. I don't know. Probably not, because they hated each other. But I highly recommend the show. It's very funny. If you're into the Taika Waititi, a little bit dark humor, it feels like a ride around Jojo Rabbit, where, like, people do get shot and stabbed in that movie too, but it's mostly lighthearted. Also, Tim Heidecker is in the show.
Let's go.
Yeah, in the very last episode, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's good. I love seeing Tim Heidecker in other things, because he always plays like the dopey boyfriend or something, because he just looks like an everyman. Mm-hmm. So I get that Tim Heidecker guy. You never see Eric in anything.
Eric's got, like, divorced dad energy that, like, still, like, checks up on his kids, like, more than he usually would.
That's true.
He's less like an everyman, more of a very specific role.
I think Eric is in that Aziz Ansari show, Master of None.
Oh.
But that's the only other thing I've seen him in. I've seen Tim in, like, a couple things.
Yeah, Tim kind of gets around.
He gets around. Good for him.
And he makes music, so.
That's true. And he does stand-up.
And he does stand-up.
He does a lot of things.
He does a lot, yeah.
I've been meaning to watch a stand-up special. I heard that it starts with him going on stage and messing around with a mic stand for 15 minutes. And that sounds dumb, but kind of exactly what Tim and Eric is.
Look, yeah, it's like, I watched an entire series of Tim and Eric. That sounds like, pretty good.
Yeah, I think, like, the whole thing is a bit where, like, he's playing a pretentious stand-up comic, and he's just, like, mad at the people who work in the back. Like, oh, that sounds fun, and it's on YouTube, so I probably should watch it. But good show. Let's talk about movie news. Movie news. Everybody's favorite movie news. I'm making a theme song. I'm going to get guys on Fiverr to make theme songs for all of our segments.
Yes.
Because I have cash for that.
Yep.
You do.
Okay, I didn't know whether or not to put this in Who Asked for This News, but I thought I already did this bit. Are you guys familiar with Minecraft?
I love Minecraft.
Dude, did you know they're making a Minecraft movie?
They've been doing that for a decade.
Well, they finally cast their leading man.
It was supposed to come out this year.
Well, okay, this time it's for real.
Okay.
Probably. Okay, who do you think they got playing Steve?
Chris Pratt.
That is a good guess, but not true. It is
Steve Buscemi.
I wish. I wish it was Steve Buscemi.
Idris Elba.
No, not Idris Elba.
Ezra Miller, final answer.
No, I don't think we'll be seeing Ezra Miller getting cast for many things going forward. No, but it is another Justice League co-star.
Mm.
It is Jason Momoa.
Is he gonna shave his head?
No, it's animated. Wait.
Great.
Wait. I need to see it.
I wish it was live action. I want to see that.
Minecraft movie. Because I saw Jason Momoa's in it. Oh no, it is live action.
Yes.
Oh, this is gonna be horrible.
Let's go.
Okay. Yeah. So they announced that Jason Momoa. I almost said Idris Elba. Jason Momoa is going to be in the Minecraft movie, and
Yes.
Microsoft is looking to make this a franchise. They're wanting to make a
Yes.
Sonic thing where they're going to be making a bunch of sequels. So
Great.
there you go.
We had one good video game movie, and by good I mean Sonic
Yeah.
was pretty
Let's-
palpable.
let's say
and then
solid.
Everybody starts popping off.
I wouldn't say good. I wouldn't call Sonic the Hedgehog 1 good. I
but,
would
like,
call it fine.
It's watchable and
It's
it
watchable.
succeeded.
It's a video game movie that doesn't make you angry.
Yeah, it's not Uncharted when Tom Holland is like the main man.
Let's not talk about Uncharted movie.
Tom Holland's like a little twink boy. And
That's
they made
not
him, like,
Nathan
the
Drake.
Big buff, like Nathan Drake. That's weird.
Although, okay, originally Mark Wahlberg was supposed to be Nathan Drake, and that's a better cast, but still not good.
It's better, but still not great.
Mark Wahlberg was then changed to be Sully, which is Nathan Drake's like father figure.
Which doesn't match at all.
No, it's him and Tom. It's the worst casting ever. And you know what's crazy? I saw today someone posted a screenshot from the movie, and Nolan North is in the movie, and that's the guy who voice acts Nathan Drake, and he's just in the movie. Like, get him! He looks
He's
like
right
Nathan Drake. I know that he doesn't have the star power.
Yeah,
but-
nobody would watch the movie if it wasn't
No.
like a big name boy.
No. But, Sonic did that. They got the person who plays Tails in the game to play Tails in the movie. Of course, they didn't do that with Knuckles. They replaced
they
him
made
with
Knuckles
Idris Elba.
better.
They did. Idris Elba's better than whoever they got playing Knuckles.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll see. I just saw that today, and then people were, really excited for it. And I'm like, oh, man, this is going to come out in, 5 years. And none
I'm
of
so
you are
ready
gonna
for
care.
all these awful movies. We got freaking the Mario movie. We got
Yeah.
all these. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it sounds like Mortal Kombat's going to be getting some new movies, too. Because they got that one on HBO Max, and then they're like, yeah, we're seeing
Let's
dollars
keep
on it.
going. I see a theme.
But let's talk about movies that actually are exciting. Because we got some Spider-Verse news. I don't know if you saw this. It might break your heart.
I did. I heard. My heart's already broken. So you're
Okay,
good.
okay, that's fine. We got release dates for part 1 and 2 of the Spider-Verse squeakquel, Across the Spider-Verse. I guess they're closer together now, which I guess is something.
Plus, I guess.
That's a plus. I believe Spider-Verse 2 was going to be coming out holiday this year, if I am correct.
Psych.
No, that's fake news. It's now coming out June 2nd of next year, which is unfortunate. It's always unfortunate to see a delay.
Yeah.
But part 2 is coming out March 29th of 2024, which is 9 months away after the first one. So we're getting them back to back.
That's good.
That's good. I like that.
Doing the Ozark strap.
Yeah, doing the Ozark. We're just
Ozark
part
comes
one-
out right now, doesn't it? Side tangent, but
Yeah, I think so.
it might be out.
It might be. Let me double check. Because I saw that was getting new episodes.
I feel like The Wire might have to go on hold for a second part of that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it might. Let me see. It isn't out now.
I think it's within this month. It might be like the 29th.
Why? Stop guess. It was the 29th. Stop
I
guessing
just know
dates.
things, okay?
It's unreal. But yeah, we'll be doing that next week. But I need to talk about my artsy adventure into A24 films. It was an accident. I didn't know it was an A24 movie until I started it. I was like, oh, okay. I'm probably not going to like this. Well, I was wrong. And the movie I'm talking about is Come On, Come On, I assume you have not heard of this.
No.
I didn't even hear about it. I heard about it only because people on Letterboxd were talking about it, which usually is
Classic.
great. But it had Joaquin Phoenix, and I do like Joaquin. I think he is a very good actor. He might be the best right now since Daniel Day-Lewis is quote unquote retiring. We'll see how long that lasts. Hopefully it's a lie, but we'll see. Joaquin, it's him. He plays a radio host, and his shtick is that he interviews kids, and it's like big philosophical questions where he like tours the country, goes to like different cities, and like gets in touch with different like daycares and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, have you thought about the future? What do you think about that? Or like, big stuff like climate change, politics, culture, society, all that stuff. He interviews kids. And his sister has a 9-year-old son, and her husband is bipolar, and I guess her husband moves out, and he's kind of struggling, so she needs to go help him, and she's like, hey, Joaquin, can you watch my son for a couple days? And he's like, yes, I will be in town in LA anyways, interviewing kids. And so the whole movie is Joaquin and a kid. It's up. It's,
Let's go.
This is a format that I absolutely know is like become like a shtick, and unfortunately I fall for it every single time. It is like
Just easy bait.
it's my absolute favorite thing. Up, Hunt for the Wilder People, Last of Us,
God of War.
God of War. All of them are old, grumpy.
It's all the same thing, but it's great.
It's all the same, and I love it. It is my absolute favorite thing on planet Earth. And this, by far, is the best way I think I've seen. And I think it deals a lot with mental health, having the husband being bipolar. The son is a little bit, he shows signs of maybe being a little, I don't know, like he might have like split personalities or something. But it's just like Joaquin and this kid learning to reconnect because they have not talked to each other much. Joaquin was against his sister getting with this guy because he knew that the husband, played by Scoot McNairy, who I absolutely love, he knew that he had bipolar, so he's like, you don't want to get with this, he's only going to be trouble. And then his sister was like, you are bad. And so then they stopped talking for a really long time. And it was only just like, hey, I called you because it's the 1-year anniversary of her mom dying. How are you doing? Oh, you want me to watch your kid? Okay, fine. So it was just kind of, yeah, it was a spur of the moment. But the whole thing's in black and white because it's an A24 movie. But, I highly, highly recommend it. Obviously, I think it is a perfect film. Unfortunately, it's only on Showtime. So, sorry.
Ew.
I know. I only have it because the Hulu Spotify thing gives me Showtime for free. So I was looking through my watch list and I'm like, I wonder if that Joaquin movie's on anything. Yeah, it is. But yeah, I'd recommend it. But what's cool is, I will just say this about the movie. I don't want to go too much into plot details, but there's a lot of clips thrown throughout the movie of Joaquin interviewing kids, and those are real clips, and they're real kids. They, credit them in the credits of being like, hey, here's all of the community outreach things that we use to talk to these kids. And the whole time the credits are playing, it's, clips of what the kids are saying with these, big topics. And I think they're from Detroit, New York, LA, and New Orleans. So they're kind of, from all over the place. But yeah, very cool aspect of the movie. I really like it. And it's pretty good. Not too, there's no gore or anything, so even your old man can watch it. So that's good. And that's just all. That's it. I don't know if I'm going to keep watching A24 movies. I might, just because I'm in a rabbit hole of finding masterpieces, and it seems
You got
like
the same issue right now. That's crazy.
I know. I feel like a dumb idiot nerd.
We're like on a parallel right now.
I know. I just thought I'd bring it up because I'm like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
like Babby doing the art rock stuff, and
Yeah,
now
exactly.
I'm doing it. Although A24 is not like, it's not super nerdy. There are like Twitter groups that are
film,
like
film nerds are in there though. It's the same kind of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's like a higher level to it, and people can get very annoying about it.
Yes, I saw a review for everything where it said, watch this movie now before film Twitter tells you it's overrated. Like, yep.
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 Yeah.
That's
yeah.
it.
The same thing with Letterboxd and Rate Your Music. It's the same thing. It's like it'll be like some great art, and then there'll be that one dude, and they're like, "This is the most
Actually-
overrated garbage I've ever heard."
Yeah. Which, we'll talk about everything next week, but
Yep.
that's not overrated. That's for sure one of the best movies.
I got my ticket for tomorrow. I'm
Epic.
excited.
I won't say anything, no spoilers, but she does die in the end.
Frick. I haven't seen like barely anything. I have like a very like vague. I know it's a multiverse thing.
Yes.
That's about all I know, and I'm like, all right.
That's fine. I would not. I'm not going to tell you anything more. I think I knew like less than that. I knew that like it was something weird because I saw the trailer for it when I saw.
I saw
Macbeth.
like 15-second ads or
Okay.
6-second ads. That's pretty much all I've seen.
Okay. Yeah, I think you'll like it. I don't know.
I like most things.
You like most things. We'll see. It's not super artsy, but you do like artsy stuff.
Yeah, no, that's
You're
not
a
an
big
issue with
you're
me.
a big Lynch man.
I am that man.
But yeah, that's it for movies. We'll move on to music. We have a couple things. I actually have something. I don't know if you've watched it, but I don't need to go right now. You can go first.
Okay.
I'll just wrap
Cool.
it up.
Yeah, we have a couple music things this week. Just a couple.
Just a
Not much has
couple.
happened.
No, nothing
big happened.
No.
Although I want to say I called it. That's
You
I'm gonna
did.
start off with that. I
You
called
did.
it. I said May 13th last week.
Yep. I was a fool, and I said June 2nd, or June 6th. I forgot what
I don't
said.
know, whatever the Friday would
No,
be for
I
that.
said June
That's what I
13th
said.
because I wanted him to like
Oh, yeah.
really delay it.
Like really reach to the
Really
last
push
possible
it.
moment.
Yeah.
This dude only releases albums in the spring though. So
Okay. I should have seen that.
I think Good Kid was in October, but every other release has been in spring.
Okay. So the other two albums. Oh, three
Yeah.
albums.
Yeah. March. Crazy thing is T-Pab was March 15th, Damn was April 14th, and this one's May 13th.
Do you think?
So we're like descending as the months go.
Do you think that's intentional?
I doubt it. I think it's just a weird coincidence.
Because I thought that March 13th was like, or what is it? March 15th was like important to. Is that like Tupac's birthday, or is that his birthday?
His birthday is June 17th.
Oh, I don't
I just know
know.
because it's Bab Jab's birthday.
That's right.
I think it's a Christian thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
And then Damn was something else, wasn't it?
Damn was Easter weekend, I believe, or Good Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Because then
Friday.
people thought an album was releasing on Easter, and then
Yeah.
5 years later, it never came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is back. Kendrick is back officially. We have
Yahoo!
the album title as well, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers,
Mr. Mondo and the Big Papas.
Mr. Mogus and the Big Sussers. Yeah, so I work in the office Monday through Wednesday, so I didn't know about this until I got home at 6 o'clock.
Oh, really?
Like, oh, hi,
I
cool.
sent you a Discord message as soon
Yeah,
as
my
I saw
Discord
it.
messages don't show up on my phone for some reason.
Oh.
But
I saw it. Because I follow him on Twitter and I got the notification. I'm like,
Yep.
oh no, what's this?
I was waiting for the one day that it would finally happen. Like, it was like following a dead person. It's like nothing ever happens on there, but like, boom, the one tweet. He was just
Yeah.
replying to someone that said
was-
like,
he's
Kendrick
like-
Lamar is officially retired.
Yeah. And
then
then
he just posted that.
he posted it's just the name of the
album
album and then the release date. And I saw the
Yep.
date and I'm like, Babby, you guessed this last week. How do you keep doing this?
There's something in my brain. I don't know what it is.
You're a psychic. I think that's what it is.
When I go to Vegas, I'm winning big. Okay,
That's true.
So
That's right.
Roulette's my game. But yeah, he did like the Michael Jordan "I'm back" statement as the album announcement, which is very smart.
Yeah.
But I feel like we have a lot to work with here. We got a couple weeks.
Yep.
We will be having a reaction to it, obviously.
Yeah.
But name, very different than what I thought. I didn't have any name in mind or like anything since he hasn't given us anything to go off of. But
Well, we knew
I mean,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's the only thing we've really gotten.
Yeah.
But my initial thought was like, okay, live band. That's the first thought that came into my head.
Yeah. It strikes me as like a doo-wop-y type group.
Yep, and we heard the rumors of like rock and roll, so I'm thinking we could maybe get like a '60s doo-wop rock type sound.
I'm thinking maybe a Chloe in the next 20th century, but maybe like something like that where it's throwbacky.
More recent, yeah.
Yeah, that one's a little bit older, but like
Yeah,
something like that.
I could see something like that.
Which would be definitely different, but none
It
of
would
his
be
albums
different.
are the same.
I'm expecting something absolutely like completely different from him, since
Yeah.
it has been 5 years. I feel like there is a trilogy from Good Kid to Damn, so this is like a new era, new label.
Which is this one's still on TB.
This is his last with TDE, but he's doing all the promo through PG Lang, so he's
Yeah.
95% out the door. The only thing that TDE has is literally
the release.
the release of it.
Yeah.
But it feels weird that it's actually happening now.
I know.
It's been 5 years. I've graduated high school and college and found a job and moved 3 times since Damn came out.
That's
3
crazy.
times.
So
That was what you were saying that like Brockhampton founded.
Brockhampton
and broke up.
was founded, released an entire discography, and then broke up before Kendrick released another album.
Although that turned out not to be true because they do have a new album coming out, which I guess.
Yeah, but they played their last show.
They did. They played their last show before Kendrick.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Yes.
big news.
Big news. Yeah, I feel like Matt, like keeping expectations in check. I think my early prediction is going to be people aren't going to like it at first because I think he's going to do something very different.
Yeah.
I feel like Range Brothers and stuff was kind of like a precursor, and like, okay, he's trying a lot of different things.
He's definitely doing something. Well, we'll see how much. I don't know exactly what the reception was to Family Ties and Range Brothers.
It was very positive.
Okay. I didn't really like Family Ties. I mean, Kendrick was all right in it, but I thought it was a little bit too all over the place for me. But Range Brothers was pretty fun. I liked the.
Yeah, they were just 2 fun tracks.
They're going hard, which is fine. But it was just like not what I especially wanted from Kendrick coming back. But I recognize that those are Baby Keem tracks.
I like that he just had fun. Like,
I like that
hyping
too.
up this comeback is going to be kind of the death of him. And people take Kendrick so seriously, but at the end of the day, like, I want him to just make an artistic statement on what he does. People get mad when he doesn't do some overarching, like, crazy crap.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it's going to be some grand artistic statement because it is Kendrick, and this is the only artist in the world that can do these, like, very overt, widespread things where people will listen and dig deeper.
Yeah.
While the album still sells #1 and like goes platinum in the first week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no other artist can do that. A lot of other artists deserve that treatment, but they don't often get it.
Right.
But yeah, we've seen outfits. He's filmed a couple of music videos. Those are from like last year when he was like floating on the water and like the beach. There's the one with him on the telephone with the bike and stuff. So
Okay.
It feels very nomadic. It feels very organic. So I'm definitely expecting live sounds. I'm expecting more atmosphere. I would love if he went drumless.
Poor
I know.
Frank Ocean.
Yeah, abstract hip hop is kind of veered towards not heavy drums in the past couple of years. And I think it's worked very well to give stories across, and I think that'd be a super awesome atmosphere. But we'll see what he does. I'm ready. I think we're going to get the Heart Part 5, or whatever he's going to call it. I think we're going to get that probably next week.
Are you saying
I think
the week before the album comes out, or this week?
No, it's going to be probably next, or the 29th probably.
Okay. I just want your prediction to be solid so that we all know when it's going to come out.
Thank you.
Yes.
I think he might do a single. I'm not sure yet.
You think it's going
I
to be
feel
the
like-
Heart Part 5 and then a single on top of that?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like they'll be a week apart.
It could be.
That's kind of what he did with Damn. I think with all the hype surrounding him, I mean, I would not like a single, honestly. I would just like the Heart.
Yeah.
Because the Heart kind of puts where he's at. It usually gives like a good idea of what production's going to sound like.
Yeah.
But I would like to keep it like ambiguous after that. I don't know if I need a single. I want to experience the whole thing.
Well, if you want, we can ignore the single. If it comes out...
No
and
way
you
I'm
don't-
ignoring the single if it comes
Okay.
out. That's the issue.
Okay. I would be willing to give
Yeah,
it
I
up
can't
and
do
do
that
the
to
whole
myself.
album. Okay.
I can't do that to myself.
I'll
Unless
listen
it
to
comes out like
too.
the Wednesday of the album's release. Because I know sometimes people will release a single the week of the album.
But here's the thing with Kendrick singles is that sometimes the single isn't what we get on the album. Like with I.
Yeah.
You might do something like that where it's completely
I could see that.
weirdo mode on the album, and then it's just like a pop song, or not a pop song, but the like poppier version of it is as the single.
Yeah, that's the thing with T-Pab is people didn't like the singles. Like
yeah,
at all.
Yeah, I
And
get
then it
that.
turned out to be the best album ever created. But
Yeah.
yeah, people didn't like I. They thought it was really poppy, and then people thought Blacker the Berry was like incredibly tone deaf at the time because I don't know if I agree with that single even coming out.
It's a weird single.
It is because you need the context of the record to fully understand it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very potent statement outside of it, but I think with all the stuff going on around, because that was like 2014, 2015.
Yeah,
There was a lot of tension happening,
Mm-hmm.
and still is happening. That kind of started the rising tension that hasn't died down at all.
Yeah.
But people did not appreciate that song until the full record came out.
no,
And
those
Humble
are
went hard
weird.
for Damn. I
Humble
remember
went
coming
hard.
out, and I was like, ooh,
Everybody loves Humble.
I love Humble.
It's everyone's favorite song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one makes sense as a single though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I guess-
I mean, that song has over 1 billion plays.
Yeah.
That is a lead single for you.
That's a lead single. Like, it would have made sense to do like a King Kunta on T-Pab.
Yeah,
Like, that one's like a
that would've made a lot more
standalone
sense.
song that
Yep.
you can just jam to without the context of the record.
I feel like he wanted that with T-Pab though. He wanted to be conflicting,
It could be.
just because like, I mean, that record is so like you need to listen to this and get into it.
Yeah.
You forced attention. But I don't know. I have a very big feeling that this one's not going to be commercial at all. I feel like he's going to be artsy.
I mean, it could be.
More artsy than it usually
It
is.
would be fine. As long as it sounds good.
Oh, it'll sound good.
I
I'm
guess
just
we'll see.
wondering.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
But that's the big news this week.
that is the big news this week. Another artist announced that they're dropping on May 13th as well.
Oh, no.
The Smile is coming out May 13th.
Oh, I don't think there's a lot of crossover there.
No, but those are two very highly,
Yeah.
highly rated artists dropping on the same day.
Yeah.
So The Smile is dropping their album. It's not a self-titled like I thought it was. It's A Light for Attracting Attention. The cover art is gorgeous, so
It's not the Christmas colors.
it's not the Christmas colors.
Okay, good.
I mean, I love Stanley Donwood's work, so I'm biased, but I think this one turned out really, really good. It kind of fits with the singles we've gotten so far. There's 13 tracks, so more than I thought it was going to be, even though I think there's 5 singles out for it.
Oh,
But I think it'll be a fun record. It'll be chill.
okay.
Yeah, so that's obviously getting second spin on that day.
Yeah.
But I thought it was kind of a weird move to be like, hey, May 13th. I mean, they obviously didn't know and they have it set in stone, but it's like, hey, here's some of the most critically acclaimed artists of our generation in Tom York, Radiohead, and Kendrick Lamar dropping on the same day.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So excited for that one as well. I think Jid was about to announce this week that he's dropping on May 13th, and then he saw that Kendrick announced, and then he said something, and he's like, "I'm not announcing it anymore."
Yeah.
So I think he literally got forced to push his back.
Yeah.
Because now nobody's gonna want to release on May
No.
13th.
Well, no hip hop or like R&B
Anything.
stuff. Like
You don't want anything coming out on May 13th.
nothing big. I think the underground kind of stuff, like
Underground's
the
fine.
Smile's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's not underground. That's gonna be huge for the rock space.
Right, but they aren't going to be competing with Kendrick, really.
No, not really.
Yeah.
But we'll see how much he sells first week because album sales are a lot different than they used to be
Yeah, I don't know.
when it comes to first week stuff.
Yeah.
We'll see how much he can pull in.
We'll see.
But yeah,
Pretty
it
exciting.
finally happened.
Yeah.
So we will keep you updated as things happen. Hoping to at least have some snippet of something next week to report on.
Unless he just
not-
doesn't do anything and then just.
I mean, there's
releases
3
the whole
weeks, so
thing.
there could be another gap week. But I feel
Yeah.
like if he announced the 18th on Monday, he'd want to say something like next week.
You would think.
Not like people are gonna forget, but
No. I mean, I guess we'll have to see. What's interesting is that he still has the TDE thing like attached. Like I don't know how much oversight they have in it.
0.
Yeah, but like
They should
according to
have
like
0.
the release stuff, as it's like, I'm sure Kendrick had a lot of like, they don't usually meddle with his artistic vision, but like whether they're
I mean,
like
he
you
carries
have to
their
have a single
entire
out,
business.
Stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like they might have something to do. It would be interesting to see how this compares with his future stuff, now that he's on his own label, and
Yeah.
he might just like drop albums like with a
And that's
week's notice.
interesting because TDE's releasing it, but like full marketing rollout, everything is full PG Lang. So I would imagine that they would like allow or not allow a single, whatever they want.
True. I mean, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how this goes next couple weeks, but
We're in the midst of the biggest rollout of this year, though. So
yeah, for sure.
very fun.
Yeah.
We'll see. People were saying what features they wanted and stuff. Like, have y'all not listened to Kendrick albums? There's barely any rap features on these things.
I want Sufjan and
I want Sufjan Stevens and
Thundercat.
That'd be kind of sick, though.
Yeah, I would like that.
I
But-
need like an orchestral like Kendrick album. Just like give me string sections, give me horns, give me like a whole like 110 piece orchestra.
That's what it's kind of making me like think of when I'm thinking of like Cool in the Gang, stuff like that, where it's main person and the blank. They're usually like I'm thinking of like Celebration and Everyday People. Like those are big band pop doo-wop stuff, and
Yeah.
we'll have to see. It's an interesting thing because the name makes it sound like it's going to be like this upbeat little doo-wop thing, but
It never is.
It never is. Like all of his socials are black, like just the color black. The PG Lang website is like so corporate. It's like
Yep.
just folders, and then
Yeah.
the announcement is just a black folder with no like text on it.
Then we got the message about him not being on a phone at all. It's going to
Yeah.
be very nomad like I think. It's going to be very
There's this clash that's
organic.
happening,
Yeah.
where it's the corporate, and then
It seems primitive because like even that site feels like early internet when
Right.
things weren't so complicated.
yeah. where it's-
So it seems
It's
like
like
it's
a
a
site
very
map.
very clean, organic, traditional type thing.
yeah.
I don't know.
It's interesting, just like the little bit we have trying to figure out what it's going to
Yep.
be. Man, it's crazy stuff. We'll have to see how it goes from here.
I don't even know how we're gonna react to that. I'm
We're
just
gonna
gonna
be
want
like,
to listen to the whole thing.
"Whoa,
We'll just be
crazy!"
freaking out. But yeah, that will be coming. That kind of like overshadowed everything else this week. But there is a lot of stuff this week. So.
Riddle me this: how was King Gizzard?
How was what?
King Gizzard, I said.
Very good.
I listened to about half of it.
Omnium Gatherum. Yeah, it's an
very
hour and 20
long.
minutes. It is
Yeah.
very long. But they released it. This is their 20th studio album.
When did they start?
2012. So
Okay.
10 years, 20 albums.
That's insane.
Insane. But so the first thing I want to say is this is not a B-sides record. You dumb idiots. Stop calling it a B-sides record. That's really hurtful to artists that are actually crafting songs still, and they're not just throwaways, because this is not throwaways.
Is that what people are saying about
listen
this?
to the freaking album. Yeah, every time like it's like gumboot soup in this one when they call them like recap albums, or when they just don't have like a thematic element to it. Everybody's like, oh, these are just B-sides or whatever.
I mean, it sounds like it's more proggy than.
It's very jam bandish.
Yeah.
I think that's like the through line through all of it is everything feels like they're just jamming out in the studio. So this thing is very fun. It's very groovy. There's a ton of different stuff going on, but like it all just feels, you just groove to it. I was just having it on while I was working. I'm like, man, this bangs when you're just like having it on.
Yeah.
But we did get the third single this week, like on Monday.
Oh.
And then the album came out right away. So that wasn't really like a lot of time to breathe with that. But we've heard Dripping Tap and Magenta Mountain. Kepler 22B was the new one.
Which are just the first 3 songs.
Those are just the first 3 songs. So they just did that.
Yeah.
But Kepler's pretty cool. There's a couple of tracks on this record that are very like neo soul almost. Like neo soul, like groovy. But in a very King Gizzard way. There's just like certain parts of the track that sound like it, but that's very, very nice. There's some thrash metal on here.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that.
I love Gaia. Gaia's awesome. Like right back into From the Rat's Nest. Brought it back. The cool thing is like they're taking their styles from previous albums, but they're adding things from other albums into those songs. Like Gaia isn't straight thrash metal. There's like breakdowns, and it goes into like a more proggy section, and then goes back into it. But Gaia's sick. I love how like heavy the mix is, and then those like moments of like clarity and like lighter things in the middle are really great. Ambergris, like super funky. This is one of their like most out there songs. I would say that if the next track didn't exist. But Ambergris is really, really great. It's like really funky and smooth. I feel like these guys can do anything at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, never would I thought like they would make something like that. Same with Sadie Sorceress. This is like a Beastie Boys rap song. About a witch.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Because it's King Gizzard. Why not?
It's a witch.
I feel like, or one of the band members' grandmothers does like the little like old lady voice. She's like 96, and they had her on it, which is cool. But the beat actually goes hard. I thought it was gonna be a gimmick thing, but like it sounds like a 90s like hip hop beat with the drums.
Yeah.
Like that those weird like reverby things in the drums. But it was fun. I mean, this whole record is like don't take it seriously because it's just like have a good time. Despite the cover art looking so like this is like big.
Yeah.
This is this epic grand statement. And
It
it's
looks
just really
like
fun record.
like an Asia, where it's like these like,
Yeah.
super complicated albums, it's just like pop music.
Or like a Tool album.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That is not this. This is just a good time. Evilest Man is pretty sick. I love how noisy the guitars get on here, and then they're taking stuff from Butterfly, like those synthesizers, and mixing them in. So that one's really great. I feel like a lot of their subject matter is still staying on climate change. Evilest Man's like corporations and like fake news.
Yeah.
Which is a cool subject matter. Garden Goblin was the only one I didn't like on the record. But I haven't listened to it too much, so it could grow on me. It felt a little too silly.
I think that's as far as I got. I think I got to the
Okay.
Garden Goblin. I'm like, I need to take a break.
We need to chill.
Maybe that one. I don't remember that one very much. So maybe
I don't either. I just remember not liking it for some reason, so
Okay.
it might have to grow on me. I mean, I will say for an hour and 20-minute record, it doesn't seem that long. But that could just be because it's all over the place.
Yeah.
But Blame It on the Weather sounds like like what Paper Mache Dream Balloon would sound like. We haven't heard that record yet, so I'm just guessing that's what it would sound like.
It's what this album sounds like that I haven't listened to yet.
Yeah, it sounds like the cover art, where it's like this very like Beatles-esque,
Yeah.
or like Beach Boys-esque like sound.
Sure.
mixed with like some shoegaze stuff. So it's like very noisy guitars. Yeah, this record's pretty sick. I think this is their best in a while.
Well,
I don't know what
Butterfly
their
3000
last
just
output
came
was.
out. That was the
What
last
was their
one.
first output?
Other than the
Butterfly LW KG. I would say this is their best since Infest the Rat's Nest, probably.
remix. Is that their metal one?
That's the thrash metal one, yeah.
Okay.
Which, I mean, that one's a lot of fun.
I'm not a big metal man.
Yeah.
So I probably.
I mean, that's the
would
thing
not
with
like
King is, though, is you get literally
You get
everything,
everything,
and
yeah.
nothing is excluded. Like, even their rap songs and their now, like, funk direction that they're doing.
it. Hey, I'm all for their different stuff.
Yeah.
They experiment so much.
They really do. And I think this, like, definitely shows, because this is their 20th record, and they're still doing stuff that they haven't done before, and it doesn't sound like it's just rehashes of old material.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It is
they
crazy.
work hard.
Their consistency's like great. I don't know how they keep coming up with these new ideas. Like I feel like they invented like some kind of like Australian funk now. Because I've never heard anything that's like that, but it sounds so familiar in the way that like funk songs go. But
Yeah, I don't know.
This record's a blast. It's just a jam fest. There's not like any deep meaning or like through line of a story like there are in other records from them. It's just like, here's what we got in the studio. COVID was over. We're able to record in the same area. We're just gonna jam out, and then this is what came out of it,
Which
is
makes
great.
sense. It makes sense.
I did pick up Made in Timeline today at the record store because they had a copy. Made in Timeline is not on streaming. I think it's their record they made last year. I don't know why it's not on streaming.
Oh.
But it's two 15-minute songs, so
Oh.
I'll probably listen to that for next week.
Made in Timeland.
Yeah. I think that was their festival like name, and there was a
Psychedelic.
record to go along with it. I just don't know why it never came out.
The only thing it says is that it's the 19th studio album by Australian psychedelic rock band King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
It's the Forbidden album.
Are they psychedelic rock?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I guess I don't know how I would characterize them.
I think
they're
at their core they're
everything.
psychedelic rock.
I guess
Nowadays, I don't know.
they're like everything. I don't know.
Yeah,
how
nowadays
to-
they're everything.
Yeah.
But I think if you like break down all their songs under a microscope, the majority of them are going to be psychedelic rock,
Yeah, I think that's true.
with some exceptions, obviously. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
good record. I had to listen to it more, but like it's just great to have on. This will be a good one for vinyl when it finally releases. Sometimes they have them ready on like the day of release. This one, not so much.
Well, Record
Just
Store
comes out in
Day
the fall.
was. Oh wait, that's the day, isn't it?
That was today.
Yeah,
Didn't see it. I think it comes out in the fall.
probably.
But yeah, that was pretty cool. Pusha T.
Oh yeah.
It's almost dry. It came out. I think he announced this the same day Kendrick announced, so it was a little crazy. We had the two big dogs saying when
Yeah.
their album was coming out. He gave very little notice. It was Monday, and then it came out Friday, so we didn't even get to report that the release date happened. It just happened.
Yeah, it just
already.
happened.
Yeah. But it's almost dry. 12 songs, 35 minutes. It's good. I have to say that.
Okay.
Is it better than Daytona? I don't think so. I don't know, Daytona's built different. It's only like 20 minutes, but I don't know. That whole 2018 run was nuts. I will say the Pharrell and Kanye like face off of production here is great. Pusha T has the biggest flex in the world, just having full access to these two producers.
Yeah.
I will say Pharrell uses the same 808 on every single song. It's like the man found one good drum kit and just like kept it for the whole record. I
Is
don't know
that
if it's
like his
necessarily a
shtick?
bad thing, but it's like, why would you use the same one on every single beat?
It sounds good, man.
It does sound good. It's just like I noticed it like almost at the end. I'm like, is this the other song? It's like it sounded the same. But I feel like this is gonna have to grow on me more. Like it was nice first listen, but I'm like, this didn't blow me away like Daytona did. And Daytona's production mixed with like the bar fest that is Pusha T always was just like it was too good of a combo.
Yeah.
And I think that album worked a lot better when it was 7 songs and every song was under 4 minutes and it just got to the point. And it was just really, really great. This one's a little bit more drawn out. He's doing a lot of different things. He's doing some different chorus stuff now. He's dropped the yuck ad lib, and he's replaced it with a Joker laugh,
Oh, good.
which is very interesting. I was not ready for that. But I mean, this album is his Joker arc basically. So
Yeah.
he's got these very expensive beats by expensive producers, rapping about cocaine in ways that he hasn't, even though he's been rapping about cocaine for about 20 years at this point. He still has new things to say, which is impressive.
Yeah.
I think on a Hot Ones interview, he said, like, people don't get mad at Scorsese for making only, like, gangster movies. So it's like, why are you getting mad at me for only rapping about cocaine? I'm like, that's a good point.
That
because
is
you
a
do it
good
very well.
point.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
But I will say Dreaming of the Past is absolutely incredible. Like, that is one of the best Kanye beats I've heard in a long, long, long time.
Even better than Donda 2's?
I think it's better than everything off of Donda 2 and, like, 99% of Donda.
Oh.
Like, this beat's next level. But yeah, that song goes crazy. Kanye didn't need a feature on the back end. He did the stupid, like, I'm going to record a verse on an iPhone and then not re-record it on a regular mic, and then I'll mix it into the track. I don't know why he does this to himself.
hate
It's
that.
really stupid, and I wish he would just get in the booth. Like, Dreaming of the Past would be, like, one of the best songs this year, and then, like, Kanye just comes on, does, like, a 30-second verse, and then ends the track. Like, you didn't need to be on here. At least record your vocals on the same mic that Pusha T used.
Right.
I mean, his verse was pretty good, besides, like, the whole, like, you know, that he's still on his, oh, my family's falling apart thing.
Oh, is he?
On our album about cocaine. I'm like, come on.
Kanye,
Drop
get
it right
out of
now.
here.
Right now, drop it. I mean, I understand that this beat is, like, absolutely next level, but stay off the track, please.
Yes.
Just so you remember, I think has a John Lennon flip for the sample. It's crazy. It's not like, it's a John Lennon cover, so it's not actually John Lennon. But it was a cover by another artist, and they flipped that for the sample. No drums on it, and Pusha T is just the meanest person on earth on that song. That song is fantastic. Diet Coke's a bop. Hear Me Clearly, the Nego one is on this record. I thought it was going to be on only Nego's album, but I'm glad that they crossed it over here, because I did like that song better than Diet Coke. And Neck and Wrist with Jay-Z is great still. Rock and Roll with Kanye and Cudi. This is the last song,
the last
apparently, that
one.
Kanye and Cudi will be on together.
According to
I call
Cudi.
cap. But, I mean, I feel like they always have, like, a rough patch or whatever.
Yeah.
Song's pretty good. I feel like there's a little bit of a lower point in the back half of the record. I mean, having a song with Lil Uzi and Don Toliver, like, is weird for a Pusha T song. But I think they still did well. It's just a little odd, but I do like it.
Yeah.
I think Pray For You, the last track, is, like, a good way to send it off. The energy comes back. You got Malice. They actually feature clips on here now. They didn't do that on Friday. And Labyrinth has an amazing voice. I don't know if I've listened to any of his music, but man, his voice. He did the Euphoria soundtrack.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But his voice is insane. I love it. But Malice has a fantastic verse. Push is good. But yeah, I think this record's very good. I'm not 100% getting it yet. I feel like I should like this record more than I do. It's weird. Because, like, you have a winning combination. You have Pusha T with Pharrell and Kanye. This should, like, be the best thing ever. And it's great, but I feel like I'm missing something still. But maybe I'll just repeated listens. It'll click more.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I still feel like Daytona's, like, next level. But some of the bars on here are fantastic, though. So I'll still probably catch some as I listen. But
Yeah.
he's cold-blooded as always. So good job, Pusha T.
Nice.
Very good.
Love to see it.
I don't know how you're this consistent 20 years in, but crazy, crazy good. The Smile did come out with a new single when they announced the album.
Okay.
Free in the Knowledge. I say this every time they release a single, but this one's probably the best single. They just keep getting better as they release things. This one's very good. It is more Radiohead-ish. I think this was a Radiohead song that they turned into this one. But they got some orchestral strings that come in. It's very, very spacey. I mean, that's all you need for Tom York and stuff. So we'll see what this record sounded like. I feel like they're going to do some heavier rock stuff like the first single they did. And then I think it'll be a very easy listening experience. They seem like they're just having fun. Which is good. I mean, the songs are still sad, but they're not like soul-crushingly depressing like most Radiohead records are. So I feel like this will be a lot lighter of a listen.
Sure.
Which is good. I mean, at least I would hope so with the cover art looking like that. They could just completely like not go that way. Reminds me of King of Limbs, which King of Limbs was very like not depressing. It was just very weird, offbeat, and strange. But yeah, those are new release stuff. So that's what's coming, and that's what came out this week.
Epic.
I did listen to a lot of things this week. In my
Good.
journey. I've dug in too far. I'm doing the same thing Jerry's doing. We're on a parallel path right now.
Yes.
We're just letting people tell us what's good, and then we're seeing if it's good, and then we're finding out that it's good.
It's a big surprise every time.
It's a big surprise. I'll start with Godspeed, because I said I was going to listen to more records last week. I ended last week with Yankee. That's continuing to grow on me. I love that one. So I went on to, I guess I'll go in order of what I listened to. So the first three records were released from 1997 to 2002. Then they took a 10-year hiatus and then came back in 2012. So
okay.
This one is Alleluia, Don't Bend, Ascend, that came out in 2012. It is not too... It doesn't feel like they've been gone for 10 years, but it is different. It's a lot more... I feel like the records get more and more aggressive as I'm going through. It's a lot less ambient and a lot more like drone. Although with this one I get very big like visions of like Middle Eastern wars and things, because that's what it would have been happening in the past 10 years. And that's the sound I'm hearing. That's what the album art is giving me. I usually find out the deeper meaning of these records like 3 weeks after I listen to them, and the vinyl packaging for all these records actually explains a lot more about the record. So, because I now own 4 Godspeed records, and I owned 1 last week. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So you're in it.
I'm in it for sure. But this record's very good. I feel like they have a formula. It's like the Up thing. They have a formula. They stick to it, and it works very well.
Yeah.
Long songs that are super atmospheric, that have slow builds, and then crescendos that are not humanly possible. It's like crescendos that you would normally be like, okay, this is the most intense that this crescendo will get, and then it goes up again somehow. Like, I don't know how you even find room for that. It's like you're singing at the top of your lungs, and there's like some second wind that comes in, and you just go higher. That's what a lot of their crescendos sound like. This record does it as well. I like that it's under an hour. I actually like their longer records, but I think this one works very well within its time limit. But yeah, I love the drone throughout it. It's a lot more. It's very war centric, like Yankee. I feel like they use drone to kind of like make that feeling more. So there's always like this humming guitar down there. But this record's really good. I feel like I need to again give it more listens. I feel like I'm getting to the end almost. I have their 2015 one, their 2017 one, and their 2021 record.
Oh, okay.
So getting near the end. But I also listened to, there was an EP I missed that people praise a lot. There was an EP between the first album and the second album that I didn't realize. So that is an EP. It is 28 minutes long. How many songs do you think are in that?
2?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to fill an EP. So 2 songs, but it's like 30 minutes. So
Yeah.
but still right for New Zero Canada. It's got Moya and Blaze Bailey finishing in the third. Both very good tracks. It does feel like a blend of the first and second albums. I feel like the second track on here is kind of like praised as like one of the best Godspeed ones, if not the best Godspeed song. This one is a lot more. It's a lot less like up to interpretation and a lot more like, here's a vocal snippet, like of an interview with someone. That happens like at the first part of the track for like 4.5 minutes and then comes back later. And then kind of builds the song around that. So it's a lot more, they treat it like a movie score and base the music off of what's going on rather than making the sound palette and then adding things into it. But it's just this guy talking about how he got a speeding ticket, and like going to court and like telling the judge off because the judge is like, obviously like dehumanizing him for having a speeding ticket. And then he's just saying like, America's a third world country. I'm like, I've been saying that for years. This guy said in '98. That's crazy. I bought this record. This EP is very good. I should say that first. But I bought this record. I bought Yankee, and I ordered F sharp, A sharp, Infinity. I got that this week in the mail. I ordered it from their Bandcamp. They send you a personalized note with the record.
Oh.
The record is embossed. You get one of 3 images, and they hand glue it to the cover. And there's like a goodie bag inside.
Really?
There's like literal schematics of a train. There's a smashed penny that got ran over by a train. There's like a notepad with like explaining the album and its creation. So it was like a $25 record, and it's like the best packaging I have for a record.
That's kind of crazy.
It's like extremely personalized,
Yeah.
which I mean heightens the album. Obviously, it's a very down, like apocalyptic album, and they're like, here, we're gonna send you a personalized note. It's a mixed media record, like it's literally like we're gonna glue an image on the front for you, and put a whole bunch of crap in here to like help you understand the music more.
It's like getting a Hollywood movie.
Yeah, exactly. And the label on the record, there's no label on the record. The song,
it's just black?
It's just black.
Oh, wow.
And the CD version has song names. This one has song descriptions. They're not song names. It just describes what the song is, and it's etched into the dead space of the record.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like I had to look at it in the light and be like, okay, what side do I play first? But the record is 38 minutes compared to the hour and 3 that the CD version is. So it kind of mashes up the two.
Okay.
And there's certain parts that like exist on the record that don't exist on the CD, and then there's parts on the CD that don't exist on the record. But I feel like it still works very well. I think I still prefer the CD version because I like that more drawn out type stuff. But I feel like the first half of the LP is like a lot more haunting. Like there's a lot more like atmosphere to it. I think the record helps it because it's like that dead air. It reads better when it's on speakers than it is in headphones. But there's like train snippets that are like sound recorded on like an old microphone, and all these weird things that come in. So it's a lot more like chilling when you have this physical piece of art that you're playing on this record, with like all these handwritten things that they give you and everything. It's like, wow, this is kind of crazy. This is like sent from like another universe. This is wild. It's like you get like a time capsule that you dug up, and like you're just putting it on record for it to hear it. And the scariest part of the record is like the album title doesn't make sense for the CD version, but for the vinyl record on the last LP or the last side of it, there's a deadlock on the vinyl, and it just plays an F sharp and an A sharp forever in that loop, and will just play forever until you hit stop on the record player.
Really?
And it is scary.
That's cool.
Yeah, and the last track ends in a very like ominous way, and then it just gets locked into this, so it's like boom, 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 just like constantly. So it's kind of like the sound of like a train chugging along, like slowly, and it doesn't end ever, and it's very scary.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, like all right, this like wins best packaging ever. Like this is nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was F sharp, A sharp. Yankee includes a like chart of the 3 biggest music labels, and compares them to like warmongers, and compares all their subsidiaries. Like here's Sony, here's everything they own, and here's what they're funding.
Oh yeah.
They put all of that on the back of a record. Like, man, these guys do not play.
That's pretty metal.
I love it. Like these are anarchists I can get behind right here.
Yeah,
Just some lefty anarchists that are just making great music. But yeah, they just put like this gigantic threat on the back. It's like, here's everything you fund. And the front cover's like, we're talking about war, but we're also talking about you. The cover's just dropping bombs.
Damn.
Yeah. And for the Slow Riot vinyl, the back cover is how to make a Molotov cocktail. So
Nice.
Okay.
I love these guys. But yeah, I got like 3 more records from them. So those will be coming in the next couple of weeks. I have to listen to the other ones. We're getting there. Almost. But I've been very, very much enjoying them. After this, I'm going into Swans. So I feel like I will be
You
ready.
think you're ready?
I think I'll be ready. I think I've gotten a better standpoint of where I need to start because I started at the wrong end. I need to start with like Soundtracks for the Blind and then work my way up.
Okay.
But we'll get there. But all this is very depressing music. So I'm like, give me something fresh. Give me something not down in the dumps because there's way too much going on.
Yeah.
So through my very like, I'm deep in it now. Sigur Ross is the group name. They're from Iceland.
Yes.
I did not know this album existed. I've never seen the album cover. I've never seen any of it. But when it comes to like post rock things, this is like near the top of like every single list. I'm like, I have no idea what this is. But as I like read like the tags and what people were saying, it's like life affirming, positive, heavenly, ethereal. I'm like, wow, these are not things I was getting for Godspeed. So I put it on, and like it really is. It's like incredibly like ethereal. Yeah, this is like the Arthur meme when like the guy puts on the headphones and he just like ascends, or he's like, when did they stop tuning their instruments?
Oh, yeah.
Play the music. Like, this is the music, and then he just like ascends. This is what this record is. Yeah, it's insanely like euphoric. I feel like music that's beautiful has to come from somewhere like Iceland, where it's just like a beautiful like area.
Yeah.
And I mean, it sounds like it too. It's like, man, this is just so full and like high, and it's everything is just really, really nice. The singer has a very like high falsetto as well. I can't understand anything because half of it's in Icelandic and half of it is in a language he made up.
Oh, good.
So nobody can fully understand the record because he just made up a language for it. I'm like, all right. I mean, go off, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think these guys opened for Radiohead like on their 2000 tour, which does make sense. Like, this is Radiohead if not depressed. Radiohead if they enjoyed living.
Yeah.
But yeah, after like all the Godspeed of like capitalism is literally destroying our lives, and it's happening right before your eyes right now. The world isn't gonna be like some giant like apocalyptic like moment. It's literally unfolding right now. And then this record where it's like, man, this is just beautiful.
That's what you
But-
need.
Yeah, no, this thing is gorgeous. I don't know how to pronounce anything on it. It's all in Icelandic, but like I don't need to. It's like this is just great. It's still post rock. There's still some crescendos on it, but a lot more use of like higher strings. There's not any drone really. There's a cool bass line of like Olsen Olsen, but like everything's very light. But this is also what I was looking for. Like I need some contrast here, and this is fantastic. So
There you go.
yeah, that's. I don't think I'm gonna do their whole discog because they do like a lot of film stuff, which makes sense for any post rock group to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's very nice. I definitely, that's like probably one of the most like accessible post rock ones I've listened to as well. It's very easy listening. It's just you put it on and it's just nice. There's nothing to think about. It's just ooh. But
That I could get
yeah.
into.
But yeah,
Probably
there was
not.
a lot this week. That was a lot.
Yeah. And I have something.
Let's go.
I know. Crazy stuff. I don't know if this has been necessarily discussed on the channel a whole lot, but I'm a pretty big Post Malone fan.
I don't think we've discussed it much.
No, we have not, because he's been gone for
Yeah.
4.
I think we
4
talked about
years?
Hollywood's Bleeding on the podcast when it came out, but that was a long
We
time
probably
ago.
did. It's
Yeah.
been that long that we've been doing the podcast, because I think that came out in 2019.
Mhm.
So it's been 3 years. We've gotten some weirdo singles. We got Motley Crue, the Playboy Cardi wannabe song.
Yep.
We got One Right Now with The Weeknd. We're posted pretty good. The Weeknd was too busy doing Dawn FM. So he had to just...
I forgot that song existed.
Yeah. I mean, I listened to it the other day because it just came on
It's okay.
when I was listening to The Weeknd. And then it
I
just
think they tried to make a smash hit and failed.
Yeah, I think that's what they were trying to do. Well, it's like two of the biggest people in pop right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
I
both
get-
gave like a B+ effort, so I was like,
Post gave more effort than The Weeknd did.
yeah, Weeknd was kind of doing his
He
thing.
was, he was, I understand. He was busy making one of the best pop albums ever. So that's
Yeah.
fine. But, you know, he did that. I think that's pretty much it in terms of, like, recent history. Like, I don't think he's going to be putting the Pokemon song on the album. I think
I hope
Motley
not.
Crue and One Right Now probably are going to be on there. If I was to guess, if I'm a guessing man, but...
I hope he realizes that those two singles didn't hit like he meant to, and then leaves them off the album. I love when artists do that.
I have no idea. It sounds like there's a lot of studio interference, but we'll get into that. He did an Instagram live the other day. I think it's his first Instagram live ever because he was confused on how it worked. He was like, I don't know how this is working. He was just like, he was wanting to play songs. He was like, I don't know if this is going to work. I wanted to just drop the album for you guys and have you guys just listen to the whole thing. But the studio wants me to play snippets. So that's what we're going to do. He just went on Instagram Live, loaded up like, I think it was like almost 5 songs. I listened to the whole thing. And he was like, yeah, I poured my heart into it. I pulled my soul into it. It's 14 tracks. So in contrast, Beer Bongs had 18. Hollywood's Bleeding had 17. So this is a little bit of a shorter record. And
If the songs are short.
the song, yeah, that's true. My guess is that it's going for a little bit more. I don't know. It sounds different. It sounds more like Beer Bongs than it does Hollywood's Bleeding, but also there's like a lot of. He like does a lot of choirs. Like he's doing a lot of backing vocals with himself, which I'm all for. It sounded really good. Based on the audio for an Instagram Live when he was playing songs through a speaker. So not the best quality, but from what I could tell,
Yeah.
it actually was. It sounded pretty good. The features of the songs he showed, I think the biggest one was Doja Cat. A lot of people were excited for that one. The Kid Leroy, he's on it, and
That makes too much sense, though.
Roderick Rich was also on it.
Nice.
The Roderick Rich song probably was the worst one, in my opinion, that he
Yeah.
did. It was the first one, too. And then he played that song like, oh no, is this going to suck? Like, is this whole thing going to be horrible? The rest of them were pretty good. The Kid Leroy song was actually pretty decent. I'm pretty sure the Kid Leroy was just doing, like, backing vocals with Post in the chorus, which actually sounded pretty good. Like, he's going for, like, a more... I don't know how to describe it. Like, gospel. I don't want to say gospel, because it doesn't sound like gospel.
It's more full. It's
Yeah,
bigger.
a little bit more full, a lot more, like, vocals in it, but it still sounds like there's, like, the trap beats and, you know, the stuff that we know from, I guess, both Hollywood's Bleeding and Beer Bongs, but especially Beer Bongs. Hollywood's Bleeding is more poppy.
Your Bong's just so far above everything else he's done.
Yeah.
I hate to be that one guy where it's like, an artist should do this again, but he should do that again.
I think he should do that again.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I think he said this song has Doja Cat on it, and then he didn't play her verse. Like, he played, like, his verse and then the chorus, and then he's like, I'm getting yelled at by the studio. I'm playing too much of the
Yeah,
song.
it might not have been finalized yet.
Yeah. But the one song I thought was really, really good, it's a long name. It's Love, Hate, Letter to Alcohol. That one was awesome. That one was just like full-on choir going over this like string and horn section. It kind of reminded me of that Kanye produced song on Hollywood's Bleeding. Is that like Internet or something?
Internet, I think, yeah.
But it was just like heavenly, and it's just like him pouring his guts out about his like alcohol like stuff that he deals with. And like he played the whole song on accident. I think he like left And then he came back and he was like, "Oh snap!" The whole song went. So, yeah, I was impressed. He's like, "I don't have any times for you. I'm just telling you, like I'm just doing what the studio's telling me to do, and I'm just here." It was like in a dark room. He just had like the light, like the flashlight of his phone is the only lighting in there. He was just like smoking doobies and drinking Bud Light, and he was just like, "Yeah, this is the song." But it was pretty good. If you are in like, if you want to listen to it, I guess you can. But it is like pretty much 5 songs in their entirety because he keeps accidentally leaving the songs on for too long. So, I mean, it's pretty much like half the album in this Instagram Live. But I did enjoy most of it. We don't have any other details. I think it's called 24 Karat Toothache. I believe that's what it's called.
I think it's 15 karat.
15 Karat. Oh, I'm getting it confused with 24 Karat Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. We know how many tracks there are. We don't have track lists or dates or anything.
Yeah, it seems like there's some not good chemistry happening over there.
Yeah, that's why. Like, I'm like, yeah, I want him to get like away from the studio
Which
stuff.
is either gonna make it's gonna make like a really shaky album or a really good album as like a in your face type thing.
I don't know. It sounded like
Let me do my thing.
from what I could tell, like it sounded different than Hollywood's Bleeding, which I think is what we were both worried about. Is that it's going to be another pop post?
Because that one way too like pop
too
mainstream.
commercial.
Yeah.
I want like another Beer Bongs where like, yeah, you can have your fun songs, but also like contrast that. And the majority of what he played were like sad songs. Like he played the Doja Cat song. He was like, I'm gonna do an upbeat song because I know everyone's sick of being sad. So here's the Doja Cat song, and that one sounded like pretty upbeat. But
if you got Doja, you gotta go hard.
Yeah, so yeah, man, I don't know. It sounded good. I was surprised. I saw Post Malone was trending, and I feared the worst, that he got abducted by aliens.
Freak.
I know. I think he talked about that
really
on
good.
Joe Rogan.
What is he, the Bud Light guy?
Yeah.
Like Bud Light commercial.
He's done a couple Bud Light commercials. He did
He's
the
done
Super Bowl
everything.
commercial for Bud
He's
Light
like-
Seltzer.
He's like the new Chance the Rapper. Like the industry spit out Chance the Rapper after he did all that, so now they picked up Post Malone.
Yeah.
Chance like didn't have a studio. Like the Big Days is debut album. He didn't have an album out, but he picked up like so many brand deals, and then they just completely just threw him out after that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what
Post Malone's
happens with his
underground.
new stuff. Do we have any news about that?
I don't know. He hasn't said anything.
Okay. I hope
That's
that
really-
comes out May
I hope it
13th.
comes out May 13th, so everybody just doesn't know exists.
That's why I was like
That'd be so bad.
Post said he didn't have any dates, and I'm like, I wonder if just everything is up in the air right now.
Well, yeah, if things were scheduled now, things are going to be rescheduled.
Yeah, we're
So-
like, I guess Post does kind of have that rap, like a little bit from Stoney, but I don't think I don't know if
But
that.
if even if you're a
audience
pop
does.
star, you don't want to do May 13th. It's
No.
not going to be good for you.
No.
I feel like, I mean, Kendrick has the pull of like whatever in the day, like max artists like Prince, like those
What?
people that require like deep listening,
I
and are
remember
like
that even
critically acclaimed and so much, like
Yeah.
you want to back off basically.
I remember that happened with Kanye and Donda, where like people
Yep.
were like, "Nope, we are avoiding
Do not
this
drop.
one."
Yep.
Like I think people could tell that one was going to be a big one. We're like, reschedule. We're getting out of here.
Yeah. Which sucked because he rescheduled when the album was coming out 4 times. People had to keep being like, when do I release something?
Yeah.
Drake nobody cares about anymore. 'Cause it's kind of like,
Right. Well, and it's that one.
he's going to pull massive numbers, but like, it's less of like people will still talk about your record
Yeah.
because people will just kind of like spit Drake out.
Well, there's
immediately.
dedicated Drake fans. It's
There
like,
is.
It's like
yeah,
J.
but
Cole.
they're annoying.
There's dedicated J. Cole.
Like, J. Cole fans are annoying too, but they're at least quieter and have more of a point than Drake fans.
Yeah, Drake. I don't know. They keep
Yeah.
sending me Drake songs when I'm done listening to to Kendrick because I've been listening to his stuff, and I'm like, stop recommending me Drake.
Stop playing me, Drake.
I don't want to listen to it. It
a lot more
keeps
like,
playing Way Too Sexy. I don't want to listen to that.
I love Way Too Sexy. Though.
I know you do. I don't.
It'll forever be my hottest take is like Way Too
I think
Sexy.
it might be. I don't know. No.
I'm allowed
No.
to miss sometimes, okay?
Yeah.
And this is the hill I'm dying on.
I miss like
like
90% of the times. I'm not.
You were
I
right
can't
on this
even
one.
touch that one. Oh man. Well, that was it. I
That was
just
it.
thought it was
That's all I
pretty
have. Stay tuned for things that come out. I mean, it's just going to be Kendrick talk for the next 3 weeks, and then 3 weeks after the album comes
mean,
out. So just prepare yourself for
good.
that.
If there's stuff, like I don't think
If there's stuff,
if
yeah.
there's nothing released next week, we're not going to be.
No.
What could this mean? No, we're not.
Yeah,
gonna
there's
do
nothing more to like really process, and I don't want to dig too deep because like averting expectations is something he's going to do. So I'd rather just not have expectations to begin with.
that. Yeah.
And I know he's going to put out great art, so it's like not even like a worry of mine.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be good. I just don't know if I'll like it.
Yeah.
That's my worry. It took me a really long time to come around to Good Kid for some reason, even though that's like the most accessible one.
I mean, when you started with like G-Pap and Damn though, it's like hard.
Well, Damn like
Going back in
instantly
time.
hooked me.
Oh yeah,
I
Damn's
think,
great.
I think it's one of the like most visceral like experiences I've had with a record where like you
Yep.
get that ending and then it reverses and then you get the beginning of it again and I'm like, what does that
People
mean?
underrate Damn. Like
Yeah.
again, I talked about Fantano this week. I'm talking about Fantano again.
Okay.
Like people loved Damn until Fantano gave it a 7, and then all of a sudden hip hop Twitter was like, Damn isn't that good.
Damn, I love
Like Damn is amazing.
Damn
Like,
is
have you
like
heard this thing? I listened to it again this week. I'm like, oh my god, how is this his like quote unquote worst record?
it's my favorite. I think that's my
it's
hottest
insane.
take. Although I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't know what is worst like what's accepted as Kendrick's worst record.
I mean, I'd say Section 80 is just a lower level because he wasn't as experienced. It's still a very good record. But, like,
I still haven't listened to that.
it doesn't have the polish of the next three. It has like the rawness of like a great rap album, but like it's not as like polished.
I guess it would be a hot take if I said Untitled Unmastered is my favorite Kendrick record.
That would be a hot.
That
take,
would be
yeah.
a hot take.
Because then it's just like, what are you doing?
I like it. It's it's
Yeah,
fine.
but it's like the B sides of T-Pap are better than T-Pap. That's for
no.
yeah.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah.
Listen to Damn. Listen to Kendrick before it starts coming out. This is my. I've given myself. I've allowed myself to listen to Kendrick again.
Oh, good.
So just because, like, you know, I overdid it when I first got into Kendrick. I listened to
Yeah.
him like for a year straight. I was in like the top 0.05% on like the Spotify Wrapped thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now I'm chilling for like 3 years and now I'm back.
I still listen to him every once in a while.
Mhm.
I think I'm still on my folk idiot mood. I'm still listening to Carrie and Lowell every day because I hate myself. But
Not much
you know.
better than me. I'm listening to
True.
apocalyptic soundscapes for 3 hours. Man.
Yeah, but I still throw on. I threw on Damn the other day because it just makes me feel good.
Bangs.
It bangs, and it won a Pulitzer, which is the best thing that he's ever done. Can you
Exact-
believe that he's the only person ever to win a Pulitzer Prize?
It's nuts.
Crazy
Ever.
stuff. Crazy stuff.
They should name it the Kendrick Prize because he's the only person to win it.
They should. They
The Kung Fu Kenny Award.
That would be pretty awesome.
Cowboy Kenny.
Cowboy Kenny. When is he called Cowboy Kenny?
I think that's just what people called him when Range Brothers came out because he's doing it for their
Oh, that's a good. That's a good name.
Cowboy Kenny.
That's a good one.
I feel like he might have said it in a performance too. He did that one like Vegas performance. I thought he said
Yeah.
Cowboy Kenny.
Yeah, he did do that. Where he did like everything he ever did.
Yeah. Those are like little details that I don't want to forget. Like the ending of that show where you like sat in the chair and then had all the people come out and they were all dressed in like some like old school like Bible era like drip. I'm like, oh, we're about to get something huge.
We're getting I have no idea where this is going.
And then with him floating on the water and stuff, I'm like, man, he's gonna be on another level here.
It's gonna be biblical.
It's gonna be big.
He's gonna.
I would
be
have to read the Bible 3
baptized.
times to understand the one song.
He referenced Job. What does it mean? What does Job? What is Job?
He's my favorite Arrested Development character, but they don't know what that's.
Oh, I forgot to mention, Will Arnett is in Our Flag Means Death too.
Let's go.
Yeah, he's great. He's great in it.
I need to rewatch BoJack.
Yeah.
Getting a
BoJack's
feeling to
great.
rewatch it. I'm like, I should just put that on when I'm working.
Yeah, just really make yourself sad.
Yeah. But I know everything that happens now, so it's a little bit less.
True. I don't think I could watch it.
Sometimes
think
feeling sad is good, you got to get it out.
I would have to skip the episode with the daughter.
Yeah, that's rough.
I don't think I could watch that again.
That's rough.
That is one of that is the most uncomfortable I've ever been by a TV show,
Yeah.
I think.
And now with Netflix like cutting their animation budget, I'm like, I gotta appreciate BoJack again.
Yeah. They canceled Bone. Everyone's really sad.
Frig.
My buddy who's in Savannah, he said, I'm really bummed that Bones is canceled. And then I had to break the news to him that Bones has been canceled for like 5 years.
Yeah.
It was a crime drama with Zooey Deschanel's sister.
That's true. Forgot about that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go revive Bone. I'm gonna ask DiMartino and Konietzko see if they can make it a thing in their Avatar studios. I'm gonna send them an email.
Netflix is dead. We're going to Apple now.
I don't know.
We're on Amazon.
We're going. I don't. You brought up two companies that I cannot. I only like Apple because they make Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
That's funny, but I'm not getting Apple so that I can watch. What was Apple? They did some movie. Frick. Power of the Dog. I don't know. It was one of the Oscar movies. I don't care. Okay, I'm gonna go send an email now. Bye.